So hi guys, welcome back to my channel, welcome to a brand new build. Something that when I saw I was quite excited about, and I think it's going to be a lot bigger than I thought it was. So hi guys, welcome to the channel, welcome to this. This is the Infinity Saga, Infinity Gauntlet. So I've received the first pack. There's only 2 issues in the first pack, which to be honest with you, they give you quite a lot of stuff, so it's probably worth it just for the first pack. So let's semi-whiz through the pack. And then, excuse my mouse, being a new build, I don't know what equipment I'm going to use. I've got my couple of screwdrivers ready, but to be perfectly honest with you, I mean, most of the builds are standard screwdriver bits, but you know, until you sort of get into it, you don't know. But let's have a look. So the first thing you get is you get this poster booklet, and that tells you all about it. You got you got the Soul Stone, the Reality Stone, the Space Stone, the Power Stone, and the Mind Stone, and they all light up individually. Jointed fingers. Could you wear the glove? I don't know. But it's 73 centimeters, so it's not going to fit on this desk when it's finished. That's a bit of a worry. Obviously, lots of gumph about the actual build. I'm not going to go too much into it because if you don't buy it, you're not going to get it. Obviously, most people are here to see the build. But this, I believe, is an actual size of the glove. So as you can see, I'm really going to struggle. I'm in the process of redoing my craft room. I can see how the sort of thing that I'm going to have to set up for. But that is huge. So can you get your hand in? Most likely yes, but it still won't do you any good. Right, so let's see what I've got with pack 1. At the time of filming, I don't know if I'm going to be doing 1 or 2 issues. I need to do a bit of a semi catch up, but obviously we'll see how quickly it goes through. One little touch that I like, and I really like this, you get each pack. Now I've actually received 3 packs so far because I'm a little bit behind, and each pack I've received a pack of batteries. Now that's a really nice touch because I can't think of any part works where they've given you the batteries, so that is fantastic. So there we have pack 1, pack 2. You see what I mean? It's actually a pretty good couple of first packs. So what I'll do, oh, you get a screwdriver with it. Well, that answers the question about the screwdriver. So we'll have some fun and we'll try and use the screwdriver. This must be pack 1 then. So let's crack straight on with pack 1. You get 1 magazine per issue, which again is a nice touch. A lot of part work seems to be going down the route of downloading the instructions, which is, you know, that's fair enough. It's not a problem for me, but I do prefer a hard copy. And usually when you get magazines, you get articles with it, and when you get the downloads, you don't tend to get the articles. I don't tend to show the articles on screen because I worry about copyright rules, and obviously the instructions you'll have if you buy the part. So if you want to read the articles, buy the magazines. So let's begin. Disclaimer, guys, I have 2 cats, 1 big, 1 tiny, and they love to explore. So you may hear noises in the background, you may even see cats. Unfortunately, because I'm now a crazy cat lady, crazy or cat lady or bird, I don't know, crazy cat lady, it's gonna have to be part of my channel. So cats, I'm sorry, if you know you don't like cats, then you're gonna like my channel even less. So parts. we have got A01. Let's just call this A1, shall we? This is called A01. That's what it's called. I can't work. Yeah, this is definitely metal, but it's quite a. It's like aluminium, and I see it's got a distressed look about it, which I quite like. It looks like it needs a damn good polish, but as you can see from the inside, it is meant to be that colour. So that's part one. It's a shame they haven't named them, but there you go. Part two is metal. Part B1, this looks like the reality stone itself. That's quite interesting little texture on that. So unfortunately it's quite shiny. Then you've got part C1, which is plastic, but it's actually semi-made. It's got like a metal bit in there. I presume that's got something to do with magnets. Yeah, I see there's a magnet in there. I think that's the magnet and that's just metal. And then you've got piece, they have imaginatively called this ELEC1, which is obviously an electronic part, and that's a switch on a circuit board. Oh, that's an on-off switch, look. That's off, that's on. Okay, and then we have, oh, I worried then, didn't think I could find the parts. Right, so we've got this little bag of goodies, and we have got piece D01. That looks like some kind of battery cover to me. And then we've got D02, and we've got 4 of those. These looks like some kind of cable clip. As I say, there's 4 of those. And then we've got 2 springs, spring 1 times 2. So they are what they say they are. And then we've got screws 1. Right, excuse me 1 second. Come on, Mr. Shadow, you know you can't go up there because that's where all my delicate models are. Like I said, I've got cats in the house, so we have to put up with it. So these are called screws 01. So obviously there should be 30, it says 13 plus 2. Now, this is one of those things you have to get used to the part work. Does that mean there's 13 of which 2 are spare, or does it mean you're going to need 13 and they give you 2 spare? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So there should be 15 screws and there's 16. So they've obviously counted them by weight rather than by number. And that, oh, and obviously there's the screwdriver. So we'll use the screwdriver. We'll give the screwdriver a little bit of a review. It looks like your standard part work screwdriver, but it's got a gold coloured handle instead of, you know. And some of you may build the entire model with this, and it'll be fine. So I suspect that if I used exclusively this screwdriver, it'd probably wear out halfway through, but that's fine. That's how it goes. Right, so stage 1, ELEC01 is the LED circuit, switch and battery holder that will illuminate the reality stone from the inside. Start by placing part ELEC01 inside C01, inside to secure it with 2 screws. So let's have a look. I can't see. Right, yes, I can see now. So if you see this part, it's got like some kind of battery holder near the top, and then you can see there's a hole there fairly low. Sorry, the cats are running around. So if we place this in this way, it's not actually going to fit because this is all in the way. So you've obviously got to turn it that way round, And then what you'll find is you've got a hole there and a hole there. There's a lot of holes going on here. There's a hole there and a hole there, which are the screw holes, and these are just lugs. And you've got 4 holes on there. So we're going to line that, make sure I've still got that, yes. So we line that up, we put 2 of the lugs through there, and then we're going to secure with 2 screws. So we get our, one of the things I don't like so much about these screwdrivers, I like a screwdriver that has a flat end so that I can line my screwdriver. See, this one has a flat end. I can actually put my screw on all ready for it. But, you know, I did say we'll have a little look at this screwdriver and see how we get on. So what I've done is I've put the first screw in about halfway, just enough to secure it, and then the last screw can go all the way. Be careful, it's a circuit board, you could potentially break it if you screw too hard. So all I tend to do is I just screw until the resistance changes. We'll have a wiggle, and that's fine, that's lovely in there, and you can see now it is definitely a battery compartment. So what we need to do now is put the 2 springs in position. I'm going to do this stage by stage. So you see there we've got 2 holes. I'm going to pop a little spring over there, over each of those. And there's a little tiny bit of a gap between the end wall and the hole. So there is room to place the screw in. But be a little bit careful, because if you drop these, by the very nature of the word spring, it's going to spring off everywhere. So I'm going to place that down, and then it says, then fit part B01, the screw, and that's going to go in. Now I can see from the orientation of the magazine there's like a little ridgy bit there, so it's quite flat at the top and it's quite rounded at the bottom. So we want to put this flat side up, and we're going to place that so that it lines up. I've got this the wrong way round, there we go. So we're going to place that so that the luggy bit, I think it's going to go in. There we go. Right, so you'll see that there's a flat bit there which needs to line up somewhere along there, and then you see you've got a little tab there and there. These are actually going to press against the springs. So that goes in like that, and then the bottom bit is going to press against the spring. So what's going to happen is as we press that, I don't know if you can see, but you see it's activating that switch. And then obviously what we're going to do, we're going to place this over the top, which is going to hold all of that in place. And it looks like we're going to go right. So there's a little lug at the top there. Can you see that lug? And that lug isn't at the bottom, so that needs to go lug side up. So we place that over. This stone wants to do its own thing, so it might actually be easier if we place the stone in there first, and then we can line this up like so. And I can't see the screw obviously, but sorry, the switch, but I can feel that something is happening. So what we want to do now is turn that over, and I'm going to place my 2 screws in the hole, and I'm going to do the same as I did before. This one's going to go in just enough to hold, so at least now if I drop this, it's going to stay together. And then I'm going to finish screwing this off. That one was ever going to finish. And there we go. So, ooh, there we go. Right, so that's now in, that's nice and tight. So the next step, we need 3 batteries, and these aren't as simple as normal batteries. I find them well, they are the same. You tend to have a flat side and a textured side, but obviously you need to get them the right way round. So these, they have a flat side. I mean, I call these watch batteries, but they're not really. These ones aren't for watches. You're also going to need piece D1, and this is going to be your battery cover. And what we're going to be doing is, once we get the batteries in there, we'll get the little lug in there, and then we're going to screw that battery cover on. Ever so simple. So right, so this is the orientation. The magazine has it so that this battery cover has the hole at the bottom, so we want it hold down, and we want the plus side, which is the flat side, down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop those two batteries in there, and then I'm going to push that third one in, and I can see that I did activate the spring, the switch, sorry, because as soon as I make good contact, the light comes on. So let's turn that off. That's not turning off. Oh, this isn't funny. This is not funny, guys. This is more awkward than I thought. Who would have thought the building bit is easy? It's the batteries that's tricky. There we go. Right, so I'm going to quickly get that in before it changes its mind. So as you can see, that's, there we go. So that's switched off. So what I'm going to do now, this is another reason why I like to line my screwdriver ready, because then I can focus on holding this down. So right, that doesn't want to go in very well. Why is that a different size? It's almost like it's a different size screw head. So I was trying to cheat and use another screwdriver there, but that didn't work. Right, so I'm going to take that. I'm not happy with that screw, you know. You know, I'm going to have to resort to one of my other screwdrivers, because that doesn't seem to want to make connection with the screw very well. I don't know if I've gone in at an angle, in which case it's my fault, but that battery cover is definitely on. Let's go for this end. I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, I think that's me. I put the screw in at an angle, and now it doesn't want to come out. Yeah. Okay, well, on the plus side, it's not going to come out, is it? On the negative side, it's not coming out. I need some kind of that's gone in. That's gone in, right. So it works fine, as you can see. I'm happy enough with that. Right, so the next thing we need to do, and this looks a little bit strange to me, we need to get these little, I'm calling them cable clips, and we need to pop them in there like that and screw them in. So why have they put them in like that? That's a little bit odd. But you know, part works, they do some strange things, and then at some point in the future you go, ah yeah, well designed. Right, so let's screw this one in just enough to hold, then we'll pop this other one in just enough to hold, so they're not going to fall out now, and then we'll pop the third one in, which is, oh god, careful, that's definitely a magnet on there. So that one can go in all the way. So that now means we can screw the first one in all the way, like so, and then we'll go for the fourth screw, which is the second screw on the second bit, and it's just got caught by the magnet again. So if this is the magnet on this one, it means it's just going to be a metal plate on the opposite piece, so that will be easier. Right, so then we'll screw that in. This is making a lot of sense now. So what this obviously is a spacer for the magnet. It's going to slide in there at some point. If those magnets were touching, you wouldn't ever be able to get that out, and you need to get that out to replace the batteries at some point in the future. So yeah, that makes sense. So there's that stone done. So next what we want to do is on piece 1 we want to take 2 more DO3s, and we're going to be placing them into there, and they'll go in like so. And this is actually damaged. It's a little bit bent. It's not an issue. It's not needing to be sent back. But it just, obviously once we get these screws in, it's going to straighten that a little bit. So this is going to be a little bit trickier because obviously I haven't got so much room for my fingers. But that's gone in fine. So I put that one in just enough to hold. An alternative way to do this, to get the first one in, is you can pop the screw into the DO2 piece, and then you can feed that through, and that's not actually easier, to be honest with you, because the receiving piece is a magnet and not a piece of metal like I thought. But that's in fine, and then we'll just secure the other end, trying to avoid the magnet as much as I can. So that one's in fully, so I'll just tighten the opposite side. Probably easy if you place this bit on the ground, although sort of screwing in mid-air is quite tricky. Right, and then what we'll do is we'll do the last one. And I've just dropped the magazine on the floor, but this is the last stage of part 1 anyway. Now I believe the introductory price for this was £1.99. They're usually about £10 an issue. I think it's £10 and something, but the introductory offer was like £1.99. So basically, if you're one of those, in my opinion, daft people that like to review each issue for the price you paid, this is what you've got for £1. I personally like to review the whole build for the total price you paid, but there you go. Right, so all we've got to do now is place that into there. You'll see there's a little notch there and a notch there, so you can only put it in that way, and that's a strong enough magnet, look, and we can remove it. So when we need to change the batteries, we can. And that's a really decent first issue, to be honest with you. So we are 24 minutes into this video, so let's make it a bit of a bumper and we'll crack on with issue 2. So these are the parts for issue 2, and this is an interesting one because I only got 1 pack of batteries. So I wonder, are 3 batteries to complete the illumination of the Mind Stone? Well, this is the Mind Stone, and the batteries that I was given so maybe I was supposed to get 2 packs of batteries. I'm not sure. I only got 1 pack. So guys, leave a comment if you've got this. Did you get 1 pack or did you get 2? So what I'm going to do is I might just borrow some screws from some. Let's take the screws out of this and we'll use it for the next stage. We know this works. Unfortunately, they're probably not going to come out. Oh dear. I think I've wrenched the screw. Small tiny pair of, no I don't look. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to borrow these batteries, because what I noticed was that I got one pack of batteries with each pack. So it's reading the instructions suggests that I should get one pack with each. There you go, put a new screw in there and that's perfect. So it suggests to me that you get one pack of batteries with each issue, but I've only been getting one pack with each pack. So right, so what I'll do then is I'll crack on with this one with these batteries and I'll use that for this one. So we'll call that a test. We've tested the first issue and we know it works because we've put the batteries in, and then obviously what I'll have to do is buy some more batteries, and then I'm not in a rush. It's going to take what, a year or two to complete this build, so there's no rush to buy the batteries, is it? So we should have part A03, which is this piece. Again, I'm pretty much going to be repeating myself. The next one is B02, which is the Mind Stone. So I will clear this once I've got all the pieces out. We've got piece CO2, which is this one. So maybe that's going to go. I really shouldn't be speculating, should I, when I haven't even started building it. Let me bring that down a bit. And then we've got piece DO1, which most of these parts are in a little bag. So yeah, we're pretty much repeating issue 1 here, except the parts are different colours and different shapes. So so DO1 is a battery cover. Elec 02 is this circuit board, much bigger than the last one, but you'd expect it with this being bigger. Then we've got springs 1 and 2, which are these two. Oops. This is why I use a table for when I drop things. Then we've got 4 of these D3s, but they're a little bit different shape from the last lot. And these are screws 1. So I'm just going to put them in the pile with the screw 1 from the last issue. And then once I finish this issue, I will... Have you finished destroying my house, mister? That was my well-behaved cat that's being naughty now. Right, so let's pop the instructions where I can see them. So we are pretty much, like I say, we're pretty much repeating. So we're going to take piece C2 and we're going to take piece Elec 02. And I can see there's a flat bit, and the flat bit needs to go to the top. And then the circuit board needs to go, there we go. So this is a bit more of a precise lineup. You see you've got these 2 bits on the end. They need to go through that little cutout there. So line that up there, and then that will, there are tabs. So yeah, I'm having to just give this a bit of a jiggle, and you see that's gone in fine. And then this, as a switch, it works. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 screws and we're going to secure that. 1 in here. So as per usual, the first one's going in just enough to grip. I don't like that one, that's going in at a funny angle. So I'm just going to focus on the other screw hole instead. And So the packaging from these two issues, I've just put them down on a little box near the floor just to get them out of the way, and Shadow has decided it's a play toy. I don't like that at all. I think it's gone in at an angle. I'm using the wrong screwdriver, that probably won't help. Yes, so that's what it was. I've used a very, very lightweight screwdriver. So that's in almost full. And then I do apologise, I've had a bout of hay fever, so I might accidentally sniff a few times. I'm trying to not sniff, but you know, when you've got blocked noses and stuff like that, it's hard. So there we go, that's gone in. So this one's going to be driven in all the way. Remember not to over tighten, because we are dealing with a circuit board and we're screwing this metal screw into plastic, and it's got very, very stiff towards the end. It's almost as though the screw is slightly too long for the hole that it's in, and it's having to cut a new hole. Right, so that first one's in. So let's finish this first screw off. Oh dear. Oh, this is hard work. Very hard work. Right. So, yeah, that's got a bit of movement to it, but it's secure on the screws. So it could have done with an extra couple of screw holes there, but I think for the design, I think this is fine. Saying that, I've got a lot more on that screw. Yeah, it's not. I think it's cutting, stripping the hole, so I don't want to screw it anymore. But that's plenty secure on there. That's absolutely fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it over. We're going to pop the 3 batteries in. 3 batteries. That's interesting. So we haven't put the stone in yet. Oh, so, right. Sorry, I've just had you know me, I go straight in with a magazine. This is odd because we need to put the batteries in, but we won't be putting the stone in place today. I will explain that a bit more in when I've done this. So we're going to place the 3 batteries in like so, and we're going to put the battery cover on like so, and then we're going to put that screw in, which does not want to go in. I think that might be, do you know, some of these screws look a slightly bit dodgy. They don't want to go onto the screwdriver. Good job we have spares, isn't it? Right, so there we go, that's the battery cover on. So although we're not going to be putting the stone on, we can still test it, and I would say that works. That's a very, very bright light for what it is. I mean, that's obviously an LED light, but that is extremely bright for one little bulb. Right, so on the opposite side, you're going to see this coming. So these little bits are going to go in there. Do you know, I've got temporary blindness from looking in that bulb. I've got a big old black spot in front of me. Right, be careful because the magnet is so strong, it actually tries to, look, it tries to pull the screw. It pulls the screw off the screwdriver. There we go. So that's the first one in part way. And I still have a black spot in front of my eye. Don't look into light bulbs, guys. It's a stupid thing to do. Oh, this magnet is really strong. I mean, it needs to be, because look at the size of this piece. There we go. So what I'm having to do, I'm lucky I've got slightly longer thumbnails, but what I'm having to do is just press my thumb against there, and then it'll guide the screw in. I suppose you could use a piece of paper or a piece of card and just make something. You see, then it can't can't pull my screw off the screwdriver then. So there we go. That's that one in. Could do with being in a bit more. That don't feel. There we go. I want that a bit more flush. There we go. So you shouldn't. I don't think you should be able to see the screw. See how you see the screw there because it's only half in, but you shouldn't be able to see those screws. So right, we'll just finish this off with the last screw, and there it is. So just make that little guide so that it doesn't pull it off the screwdriver so much with the magnet. Right, there we go, that one's in. I'm really doing this wrong because I've got my finger on the circuit board, and obviously that means it's transferring grease from my finger onto the circuit board, which is not a good thing. I would suspect if you touch it once or twice you'll just probably get away with that. Right, so I'm having a few minor issues with this. At least 3 of the screws seems to be attempting to shred the plastic. It's okay. I mean, look, that one you can just slightly see the head of it, and I daren't put that. In fact, I'll tell you what, I will try and take that out. Now, is it me or is it the quality of the parts? The issue that, see, that don't want to come out again. I'm going to have to go for it. Now, I've been doing part work for a few years, and the cost of an average part work has gone up by about £2 or £3 per issue. So obviously, if the cost is going up, when manufacturers need to, you know, when they're not making money, they need to either reduce the quality or put the price up. Now, we're demanding a certain amount of quality, and I would hope that the suppliers are. But if the price goes up, you don't expect the quality to come down. So I'll be honest with you, right now this isn't my favourite ever part work, but we've only just started making it. Right, so we need to put another one of these. This is obviously going together somehow, and then this is going to end up in the middle because we need to put one of these there and another one on that side, but we'll do it one step at a time. So on piece AO3, which we did in the previous issue, we need to screw that. So I'm going to treat them both separately. So whereas I've been doing 2 at a time, I'll do this one, then I'll move on to the next one. So that goes in like so, almost all the way. And then this second one can go in. There we go, that's in nicely. Right, that's it. Then we'll move on to this one, and we're going to pop that clip in. I apologise, some of my camera work might be a little bit out. I'm so out of practice with, when you set your work stage up, you kind of know where everything is. You know, I know I can go, I mean, I've looked to see how far I can push my finger up there with it staying on camera. But after a while, you just know, you know, I'll be able to do that and know exactly where I am. So I'm doing this a lot because I can't remember where the edge of the camera is in relation to my desk. I don't know if that made any sense to you guys. Right, that is not really wanting to go in too well. So that's a 4 screw. So yeah, I'm not 100% happy, I'll be honest with you. Am I perhaps using the wrong screws? It definitely said screws 1 and screws 1 from, and I notice that this is going into both plastic and metal, so I don't know, maybe it's the screws. Right, so that's that stage done. The next stage is to place these two parts together like so, and there should be, let me check the instructions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lugs, which there are, and then what we're going to do is we're going to screw those lugs in from the opposite side. So watch where they are, because there's so many screw holes. Basically, if you, I don't know if you can see, but that screw hole there, I can't see through it. That one I can. That one I can, that one I can't. So these are obviously the ones I need to screw in. But I'm just going to do a little experiment. I suspect if I put this screw into the wrong hole, it's not going to have anything to catch on. So it will just spin round. Yeah. So there you go, look. So if you put it in the wrong hole, don't worry about it, because it just won't connect. But, so we've got 6 screws. I'm going to screw the top one in first, and I'm going to do that as per usual, just enough to bite. Then I'm going to skip all the way to the bottom, which is here. Just enough to bite. So now that's held in, and then the next screw is going to go not the second hole but the third, which I believe is this one, and that's in just enough to bite. So then I will now work my way up from the bottom to the top, or the top to the bottom, it's up to you. But we're going to pop this one in, then we can pop this one in, see, these screws definitely go into metal better. Right, so that's in. So they're all in about halfway, so we can check the actual fit, and I think that's okay. So what I'm going to do now is finish screwing these nice and tight. So that one is, there we go. No, that's in. Then I'm going to go bottom, oh, this screwdriver's hurt my hand. It is a basic screwdriver, but then I'm going to go in the middle too. Yeah, it is a basic screwdriver, so you can't expect luxury. So obviously find a screwdriver that you really like and go with that one. But then I am doing 2 issues, and obviously 2 issues are going to put a bit more strain on your hand than 1. And I don't think you'd get away with an electric screwdriver, well, certainly not a wow stick. I don't think it has the torque to go through metal screws, but I think this is almost done. There we go, that's done. So that is issue 2 done. So I don't know if you can see my query. But that is that issue. Now we have this left over, which is obviously going to go into there, and then we have 2 fiddly little springs, and we've got a stone which we're leaving, which I have a concern about that, because if you're one of those kind of people who do every issue from the pack, you've now finished this, you've got to wait 4 weeks, so you've got to keep these set. I mean, it's not a major problem, because all we'll do is we'll pop it back in the bag, but I just think that's a little bit short-sighted to leave you with little tiny, I don't mind being left with bigger parts like this, you know, with things like the Eddie Stobart, we've been left with a bumper for weeks and weeks, but they're not small and fiddly. Right, so guys, that is issues 1 and 2 complete. I like it. I like it, and the low cost of the introductory price means it gets away with those little issues I've got with the screws. But I'll be honest with you, if I keep getting these issues with the screws where they're not really going in properly, then I'm not going to be happy. So like I say, it gets away with it now simply because it's so cheap. $1.99 for this. It's worth that just for the batteries, I think. So yeah, that's that done. Look at the size of it. If you look at this magazine, it's only that piece, so it's what, 2 or 3 times bigger than my hand. So Thanos is a big guy, isn't he? I've got a little kitten just climbing up my leg. Are you going to come and say hello? Tell you what, as you've started, you've got no choice now. So this is Little Spirit. She is quite new to the household. She's been here about 2 or 3 weeks, and she's come into the craft room for the first time ever today. So her little eyes lit up, and she's like, oh, look at all that exploring I can do. So if you're naughty, I will punch you with Thanos' glove. Look how much bigger it is than you. Right guys, so I'm going to crack on. I'm going to order some batteries. They will not be here before the next issue, because what I do is I film issue after issue, and then I've got a backload of films made up. But I'll get some screws finished, get some batteries ordered, and then future issues we will have batteries to complete them, or maybe we don't. You know, maybe the batteries that come with the next pack is going to go into this one, in which case I'll put them into this one. But you know, they're all the same. I've seen the batteries, they're all the same. I just haven't looked at the issues. Right guys, so thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate your views and any comments you want to make. Have you been making this? Are you a little bit ahead of me? Is there anything I need to be looking out for? Other than that, I will catch you in the next issue. Take care, guys.